Hey, I'm Dr. Charles P. Winston, Young Elders Butler, a regularly featured guest on the Young Elders channel about extraterrestrials. I have years of research into the ancient astronauts and ancient technology from your distant past and future. Over 30 ancient cultures reference interaction with physical beings they considered to be gods. Modern archaeology considers these stories to be myth. We will discover the Centaurs, ancient extraterrestrial beings from Tar-Ori in this amazing video. Buckle up, space enthusiasts! Today we're diving into the mystic lore of the Centaurs from the Taurus constellation. Originating 490 light-years away, the Centaurs or Centaurians are a race as old as time itself, 70 billion years. Imagine beings that are part human, part horse, standing up to 18 feet tall and weighing 1,800 pounds. Created as a pet race by the ancient Rizqians, these beings once roamed Earth until they were banished for sport hunting. But beware the wicked Tar-Ori, fierce centaurs who followed Tarnush, the cosmic devil, into the fourth dimension. Their tail blades cut through air faster than sound. Yet not all centaurs are warriors. Many are intellectuals, artists and engineers, residing in their beautiful natural scoops. With 2 hearts and 7-fingered hands, they epitomize both strength and delicate precision. So the next time you gaze up at the stars, remember the Centaurs, our ancient interstellar neighbours. The Centaurs are a part of the 4-race alliance. The Centaur, also called the Centaurian, are a group of aliens from the Taurus star system, which is about 490 light-years from Earth. These beings go back about 70 billion years. At first there was only ungulates, mammals with hooves in this star system. They were created as a pet race by the Rizqians. They are the ancestors of the cows, horses, bulls and etc., different types of mammal life form from the future. Know this: the Centaurian race is not to be mistaken with the Centaurian dark and blue-skin humanoid race and the blue-skin grey race that Alex Collier talk about. They are really Rizqians who took on different forms after the war on Rizq, where they were forced to leave their home. The primate in zoology, any mammal of the group that includes the lemurs, lorises, tarsiers, horse, cat, monkeys, apes and humans. The centaur can get from 3 feet to 18 feet tall and could weigh as much as 1,800 pounds. There are different types. The upper half of their bodies resemble a muscular man with horns. The lower half of their bodies resemble a horse with a long tail. Some are half man, half goat, half man, half bull, and etc. Some look like full-body mammals, such as a horse, cow or bull, but are bipedal and walk upright like humans. Centaur eyes are entirely white, and they range in colour just like the horses, cows and deer on your planet. The female centaurs are called centaurides or centauresses. The centaurs are best known for their fighting skills. They are warriors by nature and very intelligent. They have very good memory. Some species live in advanced barn-like buildings. Most species live in outdoor dwellings called scoops. They originally evolved as vegetarians that lived in large herds, which broke off seasonally. At first they used a form of sign or body language, but then developed thought-speak. Though they are peaceful and at heart kind, they do have a long and very proud warrior tradition that goes back many centuries. To be a warrior is a way of life for many centaur males, and is the most prominently accepted path in life for a centaur male to take. Warriors are expected to be proud and noble of demeanour, chivalrous and selfless as the situation calls for, and unfailingly loyal to their superiors. Though centaurs are ruled by a democratic council whose members are elected by the people, there is a streak of royalty seen in their military. Commanders are referred to as princes, and higher-ranking general as war princes, and they're treated as royalty in everything but blood lineage. Warriors and arists, cadets, are expected to always have a prince above them to serve, and to whom they would give their lives. And all military centaurs are expected to observe their cultural and pseudo-religious rituals with solemn dignity. Several of the rituals include a ritual for a family expecting a new child, a mourning ritual, and a death ritual for warriors. In some centaurs clans, an alpha male is the dominant male, holding the highest social rank, typically gaining the most access to mates, while a beta male is a subordinate male ranking below the alpha, often supporting the alpha, and may have limited mating opportunities depending on the herd dynamics. Essentially, the alpha leads and the beta follows, with less power and privilege. An alpha male is typically described as a confident, assertive individual who naturally takes charge and leads, while a beta male is considered more submissive, cooperative, and less likely to assert dominance, often following the lead of others. Essentially, the alpha is seen as the dominant figure in a group, while the beta is more supportive and less assertive. Alpha males exert dominance over other males through physical displays, aggression, and social influence, while beta males usually defer to the alpha and may not actively challenge for dominance. Alpha males usually have preferential access to females for mating, while beta males may only mate if the alpha is unavailable or if they form alliances with other males. While the alpha is primarily focused on maintaining their position and protecting the herd from external threats, beta males may take on supporting roles like assisting in raising young or guarding the perimeter. While the alpha-beta distinction is often used, some centaur groups may have more complex social structures with multiple levels of dominance beyond just alpha and beta. An alpha male's position is not permanent and can be challenged and taken over by a subordinate male through dominance displays or fights. An alpha is someone who takes charge, someone whose words are powerful and everyone will listen to. An alpha leads by example. A beta is mostly the opposite of the alpha. A beta is someone who likes to go with the flow, someone who does what he was told, and someone who is stuck at playing as the nice guy. Centaurs as a whole are a warrior race, especially during their war against the Reptilians, and have a very strong concept of honor and dignity, often choosing to commit suicide rather than lose a battle. However, a few individual centaurs have been known to act treacherously/cowardly. In addition, the Centaurs Military had undertaken some draconian measures against the Reptilians, including a biological weapon, an atom-degrading virus called the quantum virus, and sterilizing entire planets if they are reptilian-controlled, which are not considered honorable by the Centaurs' civilian populace, called the electorate. Centaurs also have a very strong concept of friendship, there existing a sort of bond between two centaurs called a shawm bond. This bond is a form of very strong friendship, as one can only have one shawm. A shawm is a centaur's most trusted confidant and closest platonic friend. The bond is always mutual. It is analogous to the human concept of soulmate or best friend. The reason that the word shawm, friend, is also the word for tail blade in the centaur's language is that a shawm is considered one who you would trust your life in their hands, someone you would trust even with their tail blade at your throat, hence the word shawm. Centaurs are believed to have some form of religion, possibly with multiple gods, although only one, Cronus, is known. Centaurs have many forms of entertainment, including a game called driftball, played in a large court, tail fighting, a sport similar to fencing but fought with the tail blades, horticulture and tail blade carvings on tree bark. Females in Centaurs culture are expected to become more focused on the intellectual aspects. The female body, being more slender and graceful, and their blade not as large, was not seen as ideal for combat by early Centaurs culture, who fought battles with their formidable tails. This cultural sexism has continued into the modern age, with most females taking on roles as scientists, craftspeople and artists. Common professions include Z-space engineer, faster-than-light travel and other advanced physics, grasscape designer or cloud artist. Their home planet is made beautiful by art forms that use the land and nature itself as the medium, and centaurs have many words in their native telepathic language for all the ways in which earth, water and sky meet. Many of these words are poorly translated in the minds of aliens to whom they speak. Centaurs consider horticulture an art form. One Centaurs warrior, residing on Earth in human shape, maintained an elaborate greenhouse in his home. With the invention of morphing technology, a microbiotic method of shapeshifting, it has been discovered that females tend to be more talented at it than males, with those able to control their shapeshifting called estrines. Estrines often put on performances of artistic beauty by shapeshifting between multiple exotic bodies. Recent movements in Centaurs culture have begun to break down some of the old divides, with a limited number of females serving in the Centaurs military, likely as morph-capable spies, and warriors being expected to study the sciences and arts as well. One major remaining barrier remains strong in Centaurs culture, however. There is a powerful stigma against the disabled or crippled, who are referred to as vekols. These individuals are often ostracized from mainstream society, which sees them as having little to no value. Vekols are certainly never allowed to serve in the Centaurs military, even if the medical technology exists to defeat their disability. Psychologically, as a plains-running species by nature, all centaurs have a natural claustrophobia. Although it is not an overwhelming fear, enclosed spaces make centaurs uneasy, especially if it's prolonged. Centaurs' spacecraft have long ensured that their corridors and rooms had naturally growing grass beneath their hooves and a simulated holographic sky on the ceiling, perhaps even simulated environment along the walls to defeat this tendency. The largest ships have entire enclosed parks beneath clear domes, so strong is their need to run free under an open sky. The disagreeable centaurs are said to be a brutal race prone to drunkenness, looting and defilement. Centaurs often drank and fought amongst themselves, participated in the raiding of towns and kidnapped women regularly of closely related species. Originally, it was said that all centaurs were males, which is why they were so prone to abducting women, but the truth is the disagreeable were a part of the 200 fall and the 300 Igigi. The disagreeable centaurs used to visit Earth a lot until they started hunting for sport. The disagreeable centaurs were banished from the surface of Earth. Like in every race, there is good and there is bad. The bad centaurs who chose to follow Tarnush and the Galactic Republic. They are called the Tar-Ori, also called the Tartarus. The underworld, which also became known by their people as Hell, they were trapped there for listening to Tarnush and his son, Halal the Devils. They have many different types, half man, half mammal, bipedal mammal, and etc. When the devil dragon and his angels got kicked out of the fifth dimension, heaven, the Tar-Ori were with them. They made up a part of the 1/3 who chose to join Tarnush. They are led by the half-bull type. These are the demons that live on the fourth dimension, who want out. The Titans, which were giant, fought with these Tar-Ori and were kicked out as well. Tar-Ori is ferocious monsters and horrible criminals who were banished to the fourth dimension, limbo, or where the gods imprisoned their rivals after a war. They fought with the disagreeable Reptilians against the Rizqians and other races. The Tar-Ori tail blade can move supremely fast, faster than the human eye can see, but not too fast for a cat to see, with experienced tail fighters able to split the air like the crack of a bullwhip on a strike, indicating that it exceeds the speed of sound at its tip, that is to say roughly 768 miles per hour, 1.236 kph. Some of the Centaurs races left Taurus and went to live on the planet Centaur in the Sagittarius constellation. They developed wings after being there for millions of years and crossbreeding their race with the bird beings. The Centaurs' wings allowed them to fly. They could fly into the vacuum of space and fly interplanetary distances without any equipment or assistance once they learned the process of ascension and made it to the seventh dimension. Some centaurs appear to be a primitive society, using simple weapons such as the bow and arrow. Some centaurs have more advanced weapons depending on who they made deals with. They have developed a poison that is lethal to some races, but it had no effect on humans. The centaurs have super strength, but like the rest of the inhuman beings, centaurs have a weak immune system. The Amun, or immune system, is what makes you humans so divine in their star system. They have 180 stars and 5,395 planets that they live on in the 3rd to 7th dimension. After the galaxy war with the Reptilians, some of them moved to the Virgo and Centaurian star systems. The agreeable centaurs are one of the most advanced races visibly active in this part of the galaxy. They have difficulty grasping that other races might be more advanced, even in just one area of development, and often become gruff or condescending when confronted with this. They are very smug when engaging with more primitive races and find it difficult to hide their disdain for or amusement at another species' primitive technology and backwards culture. They have two sets of ribs, one in their upper body and one in their lower body. Their hooves absorb nutrients as they run. They have two hearts. They have an incredible amount of stamina, endurance and speed. Their hands have 7 fingers, which allows them great precision and dexterity. Centaurs are adapted for eating plants through specialized teeth like broad, flat molars for grinding tough plant tissues, often with large incisors for cutting, and a digestive system designed to break down cellulose found in plants, including a long digestive tract and sometimes multiple stomach chambers in ruminants to facilitate fermentation by gut bacteria. This allows them to efficiently extract nutrients from plant material. Centaurs have large incisors used for biting and cutting plant material, wide ridged molars designed for grinding plant fibers. Gap between front and back teeth allows for proper manipulation of plant material during chewing. Their digestive system is a long digestive tract, provides more time for digestion of tough plant fibers. They have a rumen, in ruminants, a specialized stomach chamber where bacteria ferment plant material. They have microbes in the gut, bacteria that break down cellulose into usable nutrients. Examples of centaurs' adaptations based on diet. Most of them are grazers, like horses. They have flat molars for grinding grasses. They have browsers, like deer, sharp incisors for cutting leaves and twigs. Centaurs survive as a herd by increasing their chances of detecting predators through shared vigilance, allowing for quicker responses to danger, and confusing potential predators with the large group movement, effectively reducing the likelihood of any single individual being targeted and captured. Essentially, safety in numbers. With multiple eyes and ears scanning the environment, a herd can spot predators earlier, giving them time to react and flee. When a predator approaches, a large herd can suddenly change direction or scatter, making it difficult for the predator to focus on a single prey. While not all centaurs are aggressive, some may work together to defend against predators, especially when protecting young. Herds can also help locate food sources more efficiently by sharing information among individuals. Examples of centaurs that live in herds. The zebras clan, known for their striped patterns which further confuse predators when moving in large groups. Centaurs rely on a diverse range of plant species for their diet, depending on their habitat. While some animals graze on grass and shrubs, others, such as giraffes, reach higher to feed on the leaves of trees. Observing these creatures in their natural environments, like on a safari, offers a unique opportunity to witness how their eating habits shape their behavior and their role in preserving the delicate balance of nature. Centaurs display various behaviors, primarily shaped by their need to find food and constantly avoid predators. One of the most distinct traits among centaurs is their grazing or browsing behavior. Grazers, such as zebras or cows, feed primarily on grasses and are often found in open grasslands where food is abundant. Browsers, on the other hand, like giraffes and deer, feed on leaves, shrubs and branches. Each species has evolved a unique feeding strategy that optimizes their energy intake while minimizing predation risk. Many centaurs also exhibit group behaviors. Animals such as antelope and wildebeest often form large herds, which offer safety in numbers. Group living reduces the chances of any one individual falling prey to predators, and it also allows for shared vigilance, multiple sets of eyes and ears keeping watch for danger. Additionally, group dynamics can be seen in cooperative behaviors like defending territory or raising young. Migration is another significant behavioral trait among many centaurs. Species such as wildebeests and zebras undertake long migrations in search of fresh grazing grounds, often following the seasonal rains. These migrations are vital for the animal's survival, but they also influence the landscape by controlling plant growth and maintaining ecological balance. Overgrazing is avoided, and different areas of vegetation have time to recover and regenerate before the animals return. Centaurs also show behavioral adaptations to avoid predation. Many species are crepuscular, meaning they are most active during the dawn and dusk hours when it's harder for predators to spot them. Some centaurs are nocturnal, while others rely on their keen senses of hearing and smell to detect predators early. Speed, agility and group coordination are often used as defense mechanisms. Animals like gazelles, for example, have evolved to run at high speeds to evade predators, while others may stand their ground, as is seen in larger species like buffalo. The diet of centaurs is primarily shaped by what's available in their environment. Different centaurs specialize in eating specific plants based on their physiological adaptations. For instance, ruminants such as cows, deer, and giraffes have complex stomachs that allow them to digest fibrous plant material like grass and leaves. They spend a considerable amount of time grazing or browsing and then chewing cud, a process where partially digested food is regurgitated and re-chewed to aid digestion. Non-ruminant centaurs, such as horses and rhinos, have simpler digestive systems, relying more on hindgut fermentation, which takes place in the cecum and colon. These animals consume more food to compensate for their lower digestive system efficiency. The type of plant material consumed also varies among centaurs. Grazers like cattle and antelope mainly feed on grasses, while browsers like giraffes prefer leaves, bark, and branches. Generalist centaurs, such as goats and some deer species, can switch between grazing and browsing depending on food availability. Centaurs also show dietary preferences based on the nutritional value of available plants. For example, animals may seek out specific plants when they are high in nutrients, such as proteins or fats, during certain times of the year. Food availability often dictates their movements, leading them to travel long distances searching for water or more prosperous feeding grounds during drought or seasonal change. Interestingly, centaurs play a crucial role in shaping their environment through feeding patterns. Large centaurs such as buffalo are known as ecosystem engineers because their feeding habits, pushing over trees to access leaves for example, can change the structure of the landscape. By consuming large amounts of vegetation, centaurs also control plant populations, ensuring no single species dominates the galaxy. Centaurs are integral to the health of universal ecosystems, contributing to the balance of plant life and the overall biodiversity of their habitats. Their behavior, from forming herds to migrating in search of food, is driven by the need for survival in the face of environmental challenges and predation. Likewise, their diet, shaped by evolution and availability, influences their physical adaptations and role within their ecosystems of the galaxy. Whether it's a wildebeest on the African plains or a deer in a temperate forest, observing centaurs gives us a window into the intricate and delicate relationships that sustain the natural world.